click on the column, Control V to paste that. And so here is going to be math 101. Let's turn on this and just copy the text. Okay, so I'm gonna click on this and paste it. There you go. And I'm gonna click on this and say Control C, click on this, click on the column and paste. So we have this again. And then now for this one, I will click on this, click on the main container that contains everything, Control C to copy it, click on the column, Control V to paste it. And then now I'll come over here and then copy the color code of these gradient. So I'm just gonna copy this one. Okay, let's see. I just copy this. Okay, there you go. And then I copied that. So I'll click on the progress bar here and say come to the progress color and paste it. Okay, so now we have this. Now there's something else we need to just quickly do. So this one and this one, they're different values. Okay, no problems. That's just something we will do later when we're doing backend. So the next one is going to be algorithm. Let's just come over here. No, not that one. Let's copy this, Control C, and click on the column, Control V to paste it. Then let's click on the level, Control C, and click on the column, Control V to paste it. And then what else? Then let's paste the progress bar. Let's click on this, click on the container that contains everything and say Control C, and then click on the column and Control V. Now like that. So now what we have here, we've given a lot of spaces in between that is way too much. So it doesn't give us a lot of space here at the bottom, right? So what I would advise we could do is let's just alter it a little bit. Let's alter the entire container's height a bit. Let's make these 235. Maybe 240 actually. Okay, just to make it a little bit, yeah, now we have changed it. Okay, so then I need to go ahead and give it some padding from the top. Let me zoom this out. Okay, so well, yeah, maybe just something really small, maybe 7. Yes, so I'll just say 7. There you go. Okay, so we have done like some incredible work, like really incredible work. And so if you just want this to be slightly different, we can now say process value. We can say this one is 0.3. All right, so this one can be, click on this and say this one is 0.7. Yeah, just something like that, you see? Okay, because all of this will come dynamically from the database. Now the next thing we need to do quickly is this part where we need to like complete all of this. All right, so let's go ahead and just set it up immediately. Now let's see how we're going to do this. We're going to do this by let me see. Yeah, we're going to go ahead by just adding a row here and putting a line and then a text and then a line. Let's see. Let's come over here, click on the column. All right, and then we will say let's add a row. Okay, in the row we're going to add a text. No, not a text, we're putting a container. All right, the container is going to save like a line for us. So let me click on this. It's like the width is 20 pixel. Let me just copy the font, the color of the container. So I'm going to say width is 20 pixel. The height is going to be 1. Okay, and then the color is going to be X. All right, so then I'm going to click on the row itself and click this to add a text. All right, so I'm adding a text, and then in the text what I'm going to put is this recommendation. Okay, and then I have to put this other one too. Let's see, spacing in between is 7. Okay, so let's paste this, Control V to paste it. The padding on the left is 7. I think also should be 7 on the right. Okay, so then we can also you know, check the dimension of this. Is 400 by 14. Perfect. Then we can come over here to the rectangle, like the line that we did here, the container. I'm trying to see how I can select it, but it keeps running away. So I'm going to click on this here from the widget tree, Control C to copy it, and then click on the row and paste it so it's inside the row. Okay, then I will now go ahead and then center align the row, and then go ahead and give it some padding from the top, 16. So from here like this 16. Okay, so like this now we have been able to make some reasonable progress with regards to building the dashboard for our online learning application. I didn't want to make the tutorial like seriously long, so we're going to split it into two. All right, so this is going to be the part 1 for the dashboard, and we're going to make another part that's going to be part 2 for the dashboard, and we finish it. All right, I don't want it to be so long. Okay, so we're going to get to see in the next part of this course. See you soon. Hello guys, welcome to the part 3 of our course, and in this particular series we're going to just continue from where we stopped, and we have been working on the dashboard for our online learning mobile application. So we stopped at this point, and this is where we continue. Okay, so this is how the dashboard looks like, and we're just going to continue building from here. We stopped at this point, let's continue building. Now for this part, okay, what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to go ahead and bring in a container. You see, if you look at it very well, you see that there's a gray background, right? There's a gray background, and that's like the biggest container there. So so we're going to just go ahead and bring in a container. Then after that, we're going to put a row inside the container because things are being stacked from left to right. And then for this particular part, we're going to put in a column. Okay, all right, so let's do that. Now here we click on the container itself and look at the dimension. Don't forget, we just check out the height, and then we check out the padding on the left and right. But well, the way this design is being made, it's not uniform, and we want to make it uniform in our design, so we'll use 21. Okay, so the height here is 106. The things I'm going to copy is going to include well, I'm going to copy this gray. Let me see. All right, so there is a gray background here. Let me see what that is. So there's a gray color here. So if I click on this, there's a gray color, and this one, let me see, this is like 46. Okay, so if it's not, we're going to just change it a bit, but let me copy this. Yes, and then it's 106, which is the height of the container. So I'm going to click on here, the column, the main column. Let me hide this. The main column, I'll click on add a child to the main column, which is this icon here, and I'll say container. So my container is going to have a maximum width, so I click on the infinite symbol here, and then I will say the height of my container is 106. The padding on the left is going to be 21, right? And then the padding on the right will be 21 as well. Okay, now that we've gotten that right, let's try to paste the fill color that I copied. Now this makes it way too deep. This is not the fill color, right? That's not the fill color. This one of these other ones is going to be the fill color, maybe this one. So let's copy that and paste this here and just see how it looks like. Okay, so I think this is the fill color. It's not really giving me the vibe. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, my background doesn't really have a color, so I can't really see it. So let me zoom it in a bit so you can see. I can't really see how it looks like. If I click out now, it's not really obvious. Now I need to wrap the entire column, this big column, I need to wrap it with a container so that the entire background will be white. So I'm going to come here to this column and right click on it and say wrap widget. Okay, and that's going to be container. Okay, now let me scroll up so you can see this how it appears, and I'm just going to say I need it to have an infinite width and an infinite height. Okay, so that way now I can now see this container. You see, now this is now correct. If I go ahead and look at this UI design again, I'll see that it has a border radius of 20 radius pixel or 20 pixels. So I will go ahead and say, let's scroll down here, select the container, and then give it a border radius of 20. Okay, now that we've done that, the next thing that we're going to do is what? We're going to go ahead and add a row like I described. We add a row, and then the next thing we're going to add is this particular image. Okay, so the image is 75 by 75. Let's come here to this side and export the image. So I'll use 2x. Let's click to preview and be sure that that's what we're exporting. Click to export, and then here is 75 by 75. So now that we have a row, we need to just go ahead and add an image widget. Okay, this is the image widget, And the image widget is going to be 75 pixel as the width and 75 pixel as the height. Beautiful. And then it doesn't have any border radius, so I remove the border radius. Okay, I will scroll down and change from image type network to asset, and then I will go ahead and click on this to upload the image. Okay, so this is where I get to upload the image. Okay, so the thing that I had downloaded, I cannot find it here, so that means it's actually going to be like a zip file. Okay, so really something has happened that, okay, let's go ahead and see. I downloaded. Okay, it's downloading as a zip file, so this is it. Let's come back here and let's click here to upload, and we're going to say all files. Okay, and then we will see this is a zip file. So I'll click this, Ctrl X to cut it out, and then where did we put that the other time? We did we put it here. Okay, so let's just go ahead and paste this here. It says replace. Yes, just replace it. We have already used the other one. And then here I'll just right click and say extract all, and then I will uncheck this. I don't want it to show extracted files when complete. So now I will just refresh just to see what happened. I think everything will be inside here. I think the first one was days. Let's see, this should be what we're looking for. Let me go ahead and upload this. Okay, let's see now exactly. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and give it a padding of 15 pixels to the left. Okay, so we'll go ahead and give it 15 pixel. So we'll say here 15 pixel, and then just like I described it before, we're going to put a column here, and then we'll now start the setup. All right, so I'm going to add a column here, and the column is because we have these particular setup all here, right? We have this text, then we have this one, we have this, that, and all of that. So we need to go ahead and then just do the entire setup quickly. So here I'll just click on this. Let me see, can I copy it? Okay, it's not allowing me to copy it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy what I have here, just copy it here. And now these two text here, like the text that we have here, they have a combination of fonts, right? So one is 700 by 12, one is 400 by 10. Which one do you think is 400 by 10? It has to be the smaller one, while this one that is 700 by 12 is this other one. Okay, so I will go ahead and then do that here. I'll add a text, right? Okay, then I'll add I'll come over here and paste what I copied, and this is going to be 700 by 12. Okay, 700 by 12, and I'll click on it and say Ctrl D to duplicate it, and since it's in the column, it will stack under it. And so this one is going to be for this part, so I'm going to copy all of this. Yes, Ctrl C, and the font is 400 by 10. All right, so I will just go ahead and click on this and say let's come over here, we'll say 400 by 10. We paste it first, then we now come here and change it to 400 by 10. Beautiful. Okay, so I'll now go ahead and click on the column and say alignment to this side, the left hand side. All right, and then I can go ahead and look at the color for each of my text, like the text widgets here. So here is more like a gray, so I'll go ahead and then find a way to get gray. I think I can just get a gray from the available colors inside Flutter Flow. So I'll click here and say this one. Okay, so this gives me the gray that I need. All right, and then what I could also do now is, let me see, let's go ahead and do some basic adjustment. So now this column is a little bit far away from here with a padding of 20 pixels, and then from the top it's 15. So what I will do is I will give it 20 on the left. Okay, and then I will click on the row and give this row, no, let's see, let's give that 15 to the column. Let's say 15 to the column top like this. All right, and then we will go ahead and complete the remaining part. So let's see what to do from here. I'll click on this, Ctrl C, click on the column, Ctrl V to paste it, and what I'm pasting there is this one. the price. I'm gonna just copy it, and I think it has some spacing in between, so 6 pixel. So I'll click on this, give it a padding on the top 6, then also change the content to what I had copied, and then I'll click on this one and say Ctrl+6, Ctrl+C, and then I'll paste this one as well. Oh, no, I'm not going to paste that here. I will go copy something else entirely. So I'll just click on this and delete it. Now you see we had something like that around here, so we'll just copy it. Okay, so Ctrl+C to copy that from here, and then click on the column and paste it. Okay, so like this, now we have the same thing, but the only thing is that the colors are different, so we need this to be pure black, and then this one will just be gray. So let me copy the color. All right, and then I'll say click on this, is gonna be black. So I'll come over here, change the color. No, yes, change the color to black, primary text, and then click here, change the color to gray, paste. Then I think the same thing with these. The icon here is also going to be gray. I will click to say fill color goes to with these, and then I will click on these, change the fill color to these, yes, and then I'll click on these and change the text color to what I had copied. Now that way we have been able to arrange this properly. Okay, so let's look at what we have been able to achieve. Now let me see. Let's click on this and see whether it's well positioned. I think this is let me go ahead and say center align, and I will remove the padding on the top here. Really, I'll just remove it because I want it to be organic. Now we have like a perfect arrangement. Okay, so let's check one more thing. All right, so this is perfect, this is perfect, everything just looks good. Okay, so we are done with that particular scenario. What we would like to do next is just duplicate what we have done here for the different scenarios here. Okay, so let's maybe we will later on create these scenarios here for these items. Yeah, so let me just go ahead and duplicate this. But I think from what I'm seeing here right now, this is going to come from this might not really come from database, but this comes from database. All of these things come from database, so we can maintain the designs here, right? Yeah, we can maintain the designs here, or later on we can even have our own specific design. So there's no problem, we can just duplicate the entire thing that we have here. So click on this, click on the main container and say Ctrl+D. That's to duplicate it. All right, and then I'll just go ahead and close this, click on this, and I need to give it some padding from the top. You see here it's 12, so I'll say 12 here on the top. Okay, so I'll click here to give it a padding of 12 on the top. Yes, that's it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just say Ctrl+D to duplicate it again, and that's about it. Later on we will actually get all of these things from the database, so no need to worry at all. I want to go ahead and then give a padding for this one, so I had to check, so it's 12, so I give a padding here 12. Okay, now we have gone significantly far with what we have been trying to do. All right, so what else do we need to do? We need to go ahead and put these navigation icons. But the thing about navigation icons is that for you to add this particular part, you have to have the page. Okay, so for instance, if I come over here, let me show you, let me reduce this. I'm supposed to use these this particular what is it called, this particular nav bar here, and say maybe turn it on and say show it in this page, but it will tell you nav bar requires at least 2 pages. So we don't have other pages, and so we can't even use that particular type of nav bar. But now, lucky you, we have another way around it. So I will go ahead and click on this icon. I'll download all the icons that we have here, and I will say let's go. Let's just go ahead and click to export it, and then I'm exporting this. I hope it's coming as an image. Oh man, it's not coming as an image. It's actually just coming as an like a zip file. I would have preferred it if it was just like an image. It would have made things way easier. So we have this, let's just export everything that we have here. So let's go ahead and export this as well. Search. Okay, then let's export this. Let's export this. Click on this, export it. Yes, and then here just export it as well. You can actually increase the resolutions here. Okay, the exports resolutions. So I'll click here to export it. Now we've exported a couple of them, and we need to go ahead and then like manage them. So let's go to our file and then get them out. Let's turn this off first because we're not using this approach to do it. We're going to use a different approach entirely, and that approach is going to be a bit interesting, like way more interesting, because we can now use customized icons. Okay, so how do we do that? Now we have a column here which is for everything, and we can close it, right? So we want a situation whereby that particular the nav bar here will just stick to the bottom. And so how you do that is you are going to right click on this column, the main column, wrap the widget with a stack. Okay, wrap the widget with a stack because we want to put something else there. So now in this stack we're going to add a container. All right, so there's going to be a container. Well, we can actually do without a container. Yes, we can actually do without a container, but I would prefer we put it in a container. And then now we have we're going to put a column here because we're going to have this icon, then the text like that. The same thing with these and the text like that. But in this situation, just use one column here, then the rest would just be regular shapes. Okay, so let's get it right. Now this is where the container is. We want to give it a maximum width. That's it. And let me see. It looks like this is going to be roughly about 70 pixels as the height. So I will go ahead and come here and say 70 pixels as the height. And I will go ahead and click here and say add a row, like I'm adding a row in that container. Now in that row, I'm going to add a column, and in the column, I'm going to add an image, and I'm going to click on the column to add a text. Okay, so the reason is because there's going to be an image here for this particular icon, and then we're going to have the home text here. So now that I have a text, I'm going to go ahead and write here home. Okay, home, and it's going to have to be black. So I'll click here and say black so that we can actually see it. Now we haven't still been able to see what is happening there. Let's click on our container. All right, this is our text, the column, row, column, yes, image. Okay, and then I get it. Okay, so what we're going to do, the reason is because the image was way too big, so we need this image to be 32 pixel by 32 pixel. So we're going to come over here and say 32 pixels, and then come here and say 32 pixels. Okay, that way we can now see our text. Okay, let's remove the border radius. Okay, and we will go ahead and then change this from network to assets so that we can actually bring our image into Flutter Flow. Click on this, and then we will go back inside. We're going to go back inside our downloads, and then I will have the files here. Okay, so I'll click on here to say all files. Okay, now I have everything. So I'm going to just cut everything out. Let's just say, oh, it's not allowing me. It wants me to pick one thing per time. So I'm going to just cut this out and take it to where I have my files. So I'll just paste this here. It's saying replace. Let's just do it one by one. Okay, right click and extract the file in that same location. All right, extract. Now file has been extracted. We click this to open. Maybe to be in base. Okay, yes, it's inside here. So how simple. All right, so now we have that. Let me see what the size of the text is. The size of the text is 400 by 10 pixels. So we'll click on the home here and say 10. Let's change the size to 10. All right, and now we have these container on top, but this is not where we want it to be, right? We want it to be at the bottom. Yes. Okay, so we are going to have to go ahead and click here to actually take it to the bottom. Alignment, we just clicked here, and then now we're telling it anytime that you are in it on any device, it has to always be sticking to the bottom. All right, and that's why we have it here now. And then the next thing that we need to do quickly is we will go ahead and then bring in this other part of the icons. Then we'll just center line everything. Okay, so with these now, I will come back here, click on my row, then click on add a child to the row and say image. All right, the image is going to be dimension 22 pixels. This one is 22 again, and I think this one is also 22. So all of them, they are 22. So I will change these from 300 to 22. Then I'll change all of these to 22 as well, and then I'll change these to just delete it. All right, then I'll change from network to asset, and I'll click here to upload the image. Okay, let's go back to my downloads. Then I will go ahead and change this from to all files so I can see even the zip files. Click here, cut it out, take it to here and paste it. It asks me to replace the file. Okay, it didn't ask me this time. Maybe it's quite different. So I'll go ahead and right click on it and extract all here and extract. That works. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is I can just do for all of them at once now. Okay, so I now need to come here, Control X, come over here, Control V, extract, right click and then extract all, and there you go. Okay, now we have that again. So the next thing we need to do is go back to the last one, click on this, Control X to cut it out from there, and come here, Control V, and it's pasted, right click and extract all, then extract. There you go. So now we need to go ahead and find the other thing. So I don't know where it could be. I think it would be maybe here, right? Base, icons, search. Yes, it's search. So now we need to go ahead and give it some padding. Let's click on this and look at the distance apart, 57.5. So we can do the same thing here. So padding on the left is going to be 57.5. Okay, great. Then we need to go ahead and do something else. Let's duplicate this, Control D to duplicate that. Let's duplicate it again, Control D. Then let's click on the row and use this center line. We want to center align it. Okay, so this is how it is. So I'll click on this image now, and I need to go and get the real value. Okay, so let me go back one mode up, a couple of modes up. Then click on this, base, icons, place circle. I think this is it. Okay, then after that we'll also change it for this one. That's it. We click on this, upload the file, take it back one step, another step, then open this, open the base and user. Okay, so now we have this arrangement for our design. I will go ahead and click on this, and it looks like it's perfect, right? So let's look at this. Look at it. It looks like it's perfect, but I don't really have the proper padding for this thing, right? So I think what I'll do is, if I click on this, I'll see the top here is 9 pixels. Yes, so 9 pixels. So what I'll do is I'll click on the row and say everybody should go up, right? Like that. Then I can click on this and say maybe 9 pixels. I think it might just give me something, a better look. Yes. So I click on this and say 9 pixels from the top, 9 pixels. Yes. And then the same thing here, I say 9 pixels. So now it looks a little bit more like what we have. Okay. Now we can go ahead and then work on other screens. So far, if I go ahead and reduce all of this, you see that we did an incredible job, and we can actually go ahead and preview it. But I think we have one error. Navbar requires at least 2 pages. So let's click here and we've actually turned that off. Let's click on this and go and actually turn it off for real. So turn it off. We're not using this particular type of navbar. Okay, this app bar. Let's turn this off. Okay, so that's it. We don't have that error. So now if we go ahead and then preview the application itself, we will see that we have done something really significant. Okay, so let's just wait for a couple of seconds until we see what has been done. Just a couple of seconds and then we'll check that out. But so far so good. We have done like some significant work, and in the future side of our course we're going to work on the next screen. We're going to work on is going to be the profile. We're going to work on the profile, then from there we'll work on the search. We'll just keep working like that until we're done. We're going to focus on all the UIs first before we now begin to do backend, okay, which is where it gets even more interesting. So this was the first preview, and then this is the second preview. All right, so I actually like the UI for this application. It's like really neat and beautiful. So this is it, really sweet. And I can actually go ahead and then maybe adjust, you know, see, look at how it fits perfectly into this. Okay, beautiful design. All right guys, so we'll continue our tutorial in the next course. See you soon. Hello guys, welcome to another part of our course. This is part 4. All right, and in this part we're going to work on the auto profile. Right, we're going to just work on the auto profile and see how fast we can do that. Okay, let's do it. All right, so the way this one works is that we need to go ahead and just create a row here. Like we're going to create a row here and then set up all of these icons. Okay, so let's go to Flutter Flow. Now we're going to click here to add a new page, and we're going to click on create blank. We're going to say auto profile. All right, so auto profile, create page. And then the next thing we need to do quickly is we're going to add a row inside this column. Okay, so and then inside that row we're going to look for an icon. So let's search for an icon. I think we should be able to see that particular icon. Let's call it right, no, left. So left, it's a circle. I think this is it, right? So yeah, I think we can use this instead of bringing in, yeah, looks like it, right? So looks like it. So then we have here auto, right? So let's just go ahead and then highlight this. This is auto. It's a 400 by 14 pixels. Okay, and then this icon itself, it's more like 25 pixels. No, so more like 25 pixels from the left. So we're going to go ahead and turn that into black, like real black. Okay, and let's look at the size. The size is 32 pixel by 32. So let's change this to 32. Okay, and then we'll click on this row, click on add a child to the row. So that's a text, and here we're saying about. Well, I had already copied it, and let's click on this and give it 15 pixels on the left. And for the text, let's see, this is also going to be 20 pixels from the left. Okay, so let's say 20 pixels from the left. Now we need to go ahead and cut this out, cut the text out. I just cut it out. That's Ctrl X. Click on the icon here. We want to wrap it in a widget called row. The reason is because we now need to now paste what we had cut out before. Now this is going to allow us to be able to do what we're about doing next. Okay, so I will show you something. So we want to put this cut here, and I think we can do that with Flutter Flow. So let's just paste. I think we can find the icon inside Flutter Flow. Let's look for cart. And so I'm searching for cart. Let's see, it looks like it's empty, right? So let's use this one. All right, so I think this works. Okay, it might not be the same thing. So now I'll go ahead and click on this and space them like this. If at all I did not put this inside a row that is inside this other bigger row and then say space them apart, it wouldn't have worked like this. They would have been scattered. The about would have been in the center. All right, so I'll click on these and give it 15. Okay, and then I will check out the size of this. This is 25 pixel by 25. So let's change this to 25. Right, then I'll click on this and all right, I think that's okay. So now the next thing that we need to quickly do is this scenario and then all of this. So we already have something like this, right? We already have something like this. So let's see how we can bring it into this place. So we have it on the dashboard, right? Yes, we have it on the dashboard. So but I think it's just rearranged. So let's copy the whole of this row. Okay, so I'll say Control C to copy it, and then we go to auto profile. Let's see how we're going to create this. This is going to be a row, then there's a column here. So let's go ahead and click the column itself, the main column, and add a row. Inside the row, we're going to go ahead and add the main thing that we copied. So click on it and paste. So now we have this, and there's some sort of padding from the left. It's like 17. So we can click on this, locate the it's gonna be more like let me see, the stack, right? So yeah, the stack, and then we can say 17. Push it a bit. Beautiful. Now this particular part is what we're going to just rearrange. So this is Sarah W, and then the text here. So we can just actually just copy it, copy this, and let's click on this column. There's a column here, right? And then it has a text. This is a text. Let's just paste this. This is going to now be this one, and there's a row here, so we're going to reposition them. So I'll click this and drag it down, wait until it turns purple, and then that's it. So I have Sarah, so I think I could just copy it. I just want to have the same thing. So let's click on this and say Sarah. All right, perfect. It's also 400 by 18, so I think oh, this is 700, so let's say 400 by 18. Okay, and then this one is 400 by 15. Okay, so 400 by 15 by 15. Okay, all right, so now we have this. The next thing that we need to do quickly is we need to add this particular information. All right, this one and this one. So this is something we need to like download, like export. So I'll come over here and click on export. I will just use it like that. Okay, this is an image. It's 16 by 22. So I'll come over here, and in the column here, there's a column here. I'm going to add an image, and then that image is going to be 16 by 22, right? Let me confirm. So 16 by 22, right? Then now that I have that, let's remove this border radius. Let's change it from network to assets, and let's upload this. We're going to go ahead and go to downloads and upload the image the way it has come. Okay, so this is it, and then we click to open it. I'll come back here, and I'm going to add this text, which is top rated. So I'm going to copy this, and I will add it here. Okay, now that this text is here in a column, we need to wrap the text, the image. Wrap the image in a row so that we can add something just beside it. So now we can add a text widget in that row, and let's change the content of the text to top rated. It has some padding, which is like 7, and the size of this text is 300 by 13. All right, then let's copy the colors. It has a color here. Let's just look for the color here. So let's just pick the two colors. Okay, I had already copied something, right? So what did I copy? So let's first of all put the padding as 7, and what I'm gonna do next is, let me copy this, Control C, come here to where we have the gradient, turn it on, and I will say primary, paste this color. Okay, and then I will come over here and copy the second color, Control C, then I will go ahead and paste it here. There you go. So we have this now. Now let's go ahead and look at what is above here. This is 6.5. Okay, there's no real serious space above it. So now we have this, and it's pretty okay. So let's go ahead and look at the entire row and see the padding. So I will give I will find the height of the row from the height of this. So I will just say maybe 5. So I'll say 5 here above. That's pretty okay. Then now we need to go ahead and do all of this one. So let's click on this. This is going to be it's going to be a zip file, unfortunately. So let's click on this. Okay, these two things are not the same actually. So let's see. We can actually make it easier for us. Let's export this. Is it is exported as an image. Beautiful. So I'm going to also export this one as an image. Okay, so let's export it. Let's export it. So it's also exported as an image. So now we have this container. It's 35 by 35, border radius 10. So I will click here, add a row. Okay, I'm going to add a row, and in the row I'm going to add a container, and then it's going to be 35 by 35. So I'm going to say here 35 by 35 and 10 as the border radius. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is it has a gradient as well. Okay, so we need to copy the gradient. So I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C. Okay, and I'll scroll down. I'll see where I can add a gradient. Turn on the gradient and paste this. There you go. And come back here and copy the second color for the gradient. So gradients always have two colors. Well, I think there's a possibility of having more than two colors. Okay, so now that we have that, let's put a column inside the container, because we need to put an image now inside it. That image is what we have here. So this image is 30 pixel by 30 pixel. So we will say 30, okay, by 30. There you go. And then we take this off, change from network to asset, and then we will upload the image. So here simply we'll select the first image, which is going to be for our first button. Then we will center align it, and let me copy this one at once. Here is going to be a column. All right, so a column for these two things. So I'm going to click on the column here and say center align, and then I'll click on the row here and add a column. And in the column, I'm going to add a text. Okay, the text is going to be what I had copied. I try to work ahead of myself. Okay, so here the font size is 400 by 10. Let's also copy this one. Okay, not before then, 400 by 10. So this is going to be 400 by 10. And we'll click this and say Ctrl D to duplicate it. And then this one is 400 by 14. So I'll just copy this, and now we have this one here. I will paste what I had copied. And I say 400 by 14. Perfect. So click on column, click on alignment to push it to this point. Perfect. So it has a padding of 3 pixels apart. Okay, so I'll just put 3 here. That's it. Now the next thing we need to do is look at the padding beside it. So it's 11 pixels on the left side. So, and then we're giving that to the column. Now we need to give same thing to this container. All right, like we need to give a padding on the left. So I click here, hover, I see 21 pixels on the left. So I'm going to say 21 pixels. There you go. And I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C, right? I'm going to come to the row and Ctrl V to paste it. All right, then I will go ahead and change this particular image that is inside that container, all right, to the second one here. And then we have that. Then look at this. We also have the same thing, curses, and then 55. Then we have this huge line here. Let me click and copy the color of the line. The line's height is 35 pixels. So now we need to go ahead and then come here. Okay, no, I have to copy this first and paste this here. And here it says courses. And then here it says 55. Right? So this says 55. All right. So then we have like some space here. It's like 25. Let's click on this, click on the container and give it a 25. Then we need to now put a line here. So let's click on the row, click on add a child to the row, container. The width is 1, right? And then the height is 25. Okay. Then we can come here and let's click on it. Okay, so we can come here and copy the color code. and we can paste it on that container. Okay, sweet. Then we need to go ahead and give it some padding, 17. So the 17 here, and then the next thing is to just go ahead and add this up. All right, so with these I will just go ahead and copy this column here, Control C, click on the row, Control V to paste it, and now this one I will just go ahead and wrap it in a row. So wrap the widget in a row because it has some stars. You know, see here we have some stars here. So I don't know the color of these stars anyways, so but I will try to just pick a random. Let's just pick one color, this one. We might not be able to make it a gradient. Okay, so this is just going to be static for now. So let's go ahead and then let's see, what do we do? We're going to add an icon. We're going to add an icon. The icon is gonna be the star, and we're adding that. Let's say icon, let's say star, and I like to use this one, and I'm pasting this color, and I'm going to rearrange the text something like this. Okay, and then let me try to figure out the size of the icon. So it's more like the height is like 9 and maybe 10, so I can just assume that this is 10. That would be really small, so I'll go with 16. Yeah, go with 16, and I'll say Control D, Control D, Control D, like that. So for now we're just making this dynamic. Okay, and then we can say here is going to be 4.58. So let's click on here and turn it to 4.58. And now we can go ahead and click on this row and give it the padding from the top. So if I click this and hover, I'll see that it's 27.81 pixels apart. So I'll just say 28. So I'll give it here 28, and that's it. We have a reasonable workflow now. The next thing that we need to do, which is going to be the concluding aspect of this particular part, is this. So I need to go ahead and add this huge container. It's actually very long, so I will say this is a container. The width is not a problem, but let's try to figure out the height. The height is 711, but we will actually have to make it infinite. But let's see, click on the column, add a container. The container's width is infinite. The height is going to be, for now, let's just say 800. Okay, and then it has a border radius of 30 pixels around it. So we will come over here and say 30 pixels. And then the next thing we need to do quickly is let's get the color of the background. That's the container. So I just copied it, and now I'm going to paste it here. Beautiful. So now that I've done that, I need to go ahead and add these things that are inside here. So here is, we're going to first of all put a column before we now put these things inside. So I'll go ahead and add a column inside this container. So there's a column. Inside the column is going to be a row. Inside the row is going to be my first text. All right, and the text is what I had copied before. So I'm just going to come here and then paste it. There you go. So here, the padding on the top is 11. Padding on the left is 32. So I will come over here and give the column a padding of 11. Okay, 11 from the top. Then here I give it 32. Nice. Then now the next thing I need to do is just to create one card like this and duplicate it. So I'll click on this. The card size is 325 by 106, but don't worry about the width. Like I say, just take 26 as the padding on the left and the right, and then the height is 106. So let's go ahead and do that. I click on the column. All right, then click on add a child to the column. Let's go. Then the height is 106. Hold on, I think we had already done something similar. that description and that and that. Okay, yes, we have already done something similar, so there's no need to create this all over again. So we have to reuse things that we have already done. So let's come to the dashboard, and then here we have done something similar. Let's just click on this, just click on the column, open it, and then I need to pick the container. No, this is what I want to pick. So the entire container is what I'm picking. So Control C to copy all of that. Go to the author profile. All right, click on the column and paste it. All right, so now I have this. The only thing that is different is what we have here. Okay, so let's see. This is the card. All right, so I just need to go ahead and come to export and export the image. Perfect. Okay, it's even giving me as that. So let's say let's come over here and then get our image. So let's click here and then go to download, say all files, because the file is in a zip file. So Ctrl X to cut it, and then come here and just paste like we did before, replace it. All right, and then we will say, okay, now I don't know which one it is. Okay, this is gonna be the one, right? 8:50 p.m. Okay, great. So I can go ahead and right click on this and extract all, extract. Okay, so I think it's going to be inside here, base, icons, user. Is it a user? I don't think it's a user. Oh, no, that's a wrong thing. So let's go back and go back and go back. So this is where we might actually have an issue, right? So online learning app. So these are the different files. So how will I see the last time it was updated? Base card, and this is gonna be an issue for me. Card image, I can't really tell which it is. Okay, so let's do like this. Let's do large icons. Ah, beautiful. See, we found it. So like that, we are good. And well, you can decide to change all of this, but it's not really necessary. This is just text and they will come from the backend. So now we have this, right? Let's look at it. So this is actually white, okay? And so let's just turn this into white. The background, no, where is it? The container that has everything, we have to give it all. The fill color is actually white. Okay, nice. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and then duplicate all of this. So let's say Control D. Okay, and let's go, and let's go, and let's go, and let's go. When we're doing backend, we'll delete all of it because we'll be getting things from the backend. Let's go ahead and click on the main container, and let's get some padding for it. So click here, hover, it says 32. I'm just using the approximate value, so we can say here 32. Okay, so with this now we have done something remarkable and amazing. Yes, of course. So far we've done something great, and I would like us to go ahead and end the session for this particular one. So we'll continue in the next part of this course. See you soon. Hello guys, welcome to another part of our course. This is part 5, right? And in this part we're going to work on the profile session of our course, right? So we're going to be working on the profile of the profile page for our application, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Now how do we start? Just the same way we've been starting. So first of all, we're going to have to start with this image. All right, it's an ellipse. It's not really like a cycle, right? Yeah, it's an ellipse. We have it like it has like 2, 4, 2 by 2, 2, 6. This like, but I would prefer we just see this as a cycle image. Okay, so let's go ahead and come to let me see. Yes, let's go to here and add a new page. So we're adding a new page, blank, and we call it profile. Okay, profile. Let's just make it even more descriptive. User profile. So alright, so here we're going to go ahead and click on the main column and add a row. In the row we're going to add a circle image. So it's a circle image, and let's use 242 as the diameter. Alright, so let's say 242. Okay, then click on this and say center line. Beautiful. Then click on the circle image and wrap it with a stack. Okay, the reason is because we're going to have to put this particular container in it. So this is a circle which is dimension 46 by 46. So we're going to now add a circle container, and then say circle, and diameter is 46. And inside that container we're going to add a column. Inside the column we're going to add an icon, and so we're adding an icon here. The icon is going to be an edit icon. So we click on here and say icon. Sorry, not that. We say edit. So edit is going to be any of this. So I think we're going to use this. It's similar to what we saw before. Then the dimension is going to be dimension of the icon. It's like I don't know. Let's say 35. No, 32. Okay. Let's click on the column and center align it. Perfect. Now let's click on the container itself. And let's look at the distance from the left. So here it says 191, and from the top it says 16. So here we'll say 16 for the top, and then for the left we'll say 191, like that. Okay, so now we have this and we're perfectly okay with it. Okay, so let's see, do we have a space of 20 pixels from the top? So let's give it to this row. So let's say 20 pixel. Berta. Now for this image, let's click on it, click to export, click to preview, and that's it. So we can export it, and we can go ahead and click here. Well, this image will come from database, but we can go ahead and just add everything up. I'm going to click here to upload the image from the system. Go to my downloads folder, and then I'll find the image. This is the image, and I bring it into my circle image. Okay, so now we have it. Perfect. Now what we're going to do next is this part. So this is just going to be the text. It said Mahmoud Said. This is 400 by 24. So let's click on the column. Click on add a chart to the column. The chart is going to be a row. We're going to add a text, and we're going to paste what we had copied. 400 by 24. There you go. And click on here and center align it. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and then click to add an image in that row. The image is going to be this guy, which is 25 by 25. So we're going to say 25 by 25. Remove the border radius. Come here and say assets. We already have some sort of design like that, so let's just click here to look for something like, I think this is it, and that's it. We have this, and it's 7 pixels on the left just for little spacing, 7, and that's it there. So here can just be 6 pixels from the top, so we say 6 here, add it to the row itself. Perfect. Now the next thing I'm going to quickly do is I have my mood here. And what I will do is I'll click on this and say Ctrl D to duplicate it, and I will copy this. It's 400 by 14. I will click here